Well, hello and welcome once again to the DCL Podcast, where we're inviting you to sit back, relax, and we'll be on our way shortly.
Well, welcome back to the DCL Podcast, your podcast to cruise a little smarter. I'm your host, Lake, and I am joined by my co-host, Christy. Christy, how are we today?
I'm great, Lake. How are you?
I am doing pretty good. I am so excited about this episode because we have someone fresh off the inaugural sailing of the Disney Treasure.
I think that we just need to make sure that this is stated, that this is still Saturday, the day the cruise ended, that our guest got off the ship onto an airplane, flew home, and is recording with us the same day she got off. This is, first of all, dedication and amazing. And if you all could see that she just made strong arm pose, it's fantastic.
Well, with that, we would like to welcome Ebony to the show. Ebony, how are you today?
I am well. How are you guys?
Oh, you seem like you're doing pretty good for the saddest day of a cruise.
Oh, I've blocked out this morning, so it's fine.
Well, hopefully we have lots of fond memories. This is a pretty exciting sailing. So why don't we start with why you chose to book this sailing?
Because it was available and I have never done a maiden voyage. So I was like, I want to see what it's about. It coincided with time frame that was available. I was like, let's do it. Christmas, why not?
And why don't you tell our guests a little bit about your Disney cruising background and Disney background as well?
So I am gold member. This was my 7th cruise, I believe. So I've done Fantasy was my first ship, Magic, Wonder, Dream, and then Wish twice. And now Treasure. Yay. I have loved Disney all my life. So it was like perfect next step, really.
Of course, the Treasure is new and exciting. What things specifically about the Treasure were you excited to get to experience first?
I wanted to see really how it was different from the Wish. That was in 22. So I know things have changed on the Wish since then as well, but I was excited to see why the Haunted Mansion, how does all these things work? It was amazing. And it was amazing.
Awesome. Well, we got to start where all cruises begin, with embarkation. How did we get to Florida and get to the port?
So I booked a fly snooze cruise package. We got in the day before, had a shuttle pick us up from the airport, go to the hotel, then shuttle picked us up from the hotel and took us to the port, and then they took us back to the airport.
And was that in Cape Canaveral?
Cocoa Beach.
That's the words I was going for. We have so much to talk about, but we haven't talked about somebody staying at the beach in a while. How did you feel about that after? And I guess first, before we do that, who did you sail with?
So I sailed with my mother and younger cousin. He's 7. So we got to do kids club things. So yes. that was different.
Okay. So you stayed at the beach. How did you feel about that experience?
It was good to be there a day early, because usually we fly straight day of the cruise and then hit the ship. So to actually have that downtime to kind of relax beforehand, just get your mind together. It was good. I appreciated it more than I thought I would.
Which hotel did you stay at?
It was the Marriott.
There's a courtyard.
Yes.
Over there.
Yes.
Very good. So is that the one where you walk down a path to get to the beach?
Oh, no. We're I want to say about 3 or 4 blocks from the beach. So
okay, more in the downtowny area or whatever.
Yeah.
If that's how we would call that. Okay, very good. So would you do that again?
Absolutely. It was almost as easy as doing the Disney transportation. They handled bags and put you where you're supposed to be, let you know where you needed to be picked up. It was smooth, real smooth.
So then you arrive at the shiny new ship.
So I was a little disappointed at first, because as we were driving up, the shuttle that we were on had this mesh thing over it. So I couldn't see. Oh my gosh, it's the Treasure. It was there's spots that maybe it might be a ship, I think.
Oh no.
So then when we got off and we kind of we're under at that point, we were just looking up, just oh man. And we went through all the pre-boarding things and our rooms were ready immediately. It was a little bit of a surprise walking in, because we weren't sure if they were going to do Christmas decorations because of the Maiden cruise, but they did. It was super tall Christmas tree with all the lights and garland all over the staircases. And I was like, this is home. I love it. So
had you done a maritime cruise before?
Yes.
Okay.
years ago. And I'll say with this one, I'm a little bit biased because Aladdin is my favorite movie. So walking in and having that just themed all in your face, I was like, I love it here. I just want to lay on the floor. This is this is where I want to be. Is it called a chandelier?
Yeah, it's a chandelier.
That having the Middle Eastern theming, and it was, I think when I walked in, it was orange and pink doing like kind of a wavy thing. This is nice. This is really nice. So we walked around on deck 3 to see what was on there for a little bit. And then we went up to our stateroom and checked that out. And we found our first gift, which were 2 champagne flutes that had the Maiden Voyage, I guess, emblem that they've had for all the things. And from there, so we were on deck 6. We went down to 4 to see like the club thing, the Sarabi and the movie theaters. And
isn't Sarabi just so gorgeous?
I loved it.
Yeah.
And that's actually how I ended the cruise there. So like it was kind of fun. The movie theaters having the exact same theming as the Wish was kind of like, we could have done something better. But I mean, I enjoyed it. It's still like the Neverland and Wonderland theme. It was gorgeous still, but it was like, we saw this already. But from there, we went up to the pool deck and it was cold. So we came back to our room.
Yeah, your weather was really bad, I think.
It was terrible. It was like maybe 65, 70-ish on leaving. And I want to say it started raining right before we left port. So we didn't do the deck party, unfortunately, but I know they gave out other champagne glasses during that day. I guess I assumed they did a toast of some sort as they sailed away. But yeah, we missed that because it was cold. We're like, we don't do cold. We missed that one.
So on the pool deck, did you eat?
Oh, of course. Festival of Friends is the place to be.
It's
like,
so good.
So good. I did a lot of barbecue, I'm ashamed to say.
Personal favorite as well. Could we talk about your stateroom real quick? What kind of stateroom you booked, what you thought of it, especially compared to the Wish, and how it worked for you and your family? So
we had the deluxe family ocean view porthole. So we had the queen bed, couch, and then we had the bunk bed. Of course, 7-year-old loved the bunk bed, climbing up and down. Oh, look, it's amazing. On the ceiling of the bunk beds, they have Genie saying, what was it? Phenomenal cosmic power, itty bitty living space. The room itself was very spacious, considering we had 3 humongous suitcases and almost equally as large carry-ons. We managed to fit everything in. And because it was a 7-day, we actually like used the drawers and the closets and everything. So it felt like home. And I love the split bathroom thing. And the fact that they're now doing like the actual glass shower doors instead of those curtains. A+. A+.
That's a big improvement.
Absolutely.
On your embarkation day, there's lots of new and shiny things. What space or what thing was like your big wow from your first day?
Actually, it was the Haunted Mansion parlor, to be completely honest. Like I said, walked in, there was a ton of people in there to begin with. I did go back 3 or 4 other times and it was amazing. We don't need to talk. It's fine. It's fine.
Blake's going to want all the details on that.
Going in and you have like almost like the stretching room situation happening. And then like the lights change, there's thunderstorms and the pictures on the wall change from the normal people looking things to the ghostly looking situations. There's skeletal fish in the middle of that's amazing. And then as the thunderstorm is happening or going on in the back behind the bar, there is the hitchhiking ghost and other phantoms that show up, I guess. With all the people in there, it was very loud. So you really couldn't hear like what was happening. All of a sudden you just saw like lights flicker and it's a thunderstorm. Oh, okay. I don't know how we got here, but all right, we're here for the ride. So when I went back, it was better. There was more space. So we sat down and we actually had a drinks, ghostly something or other, non-alcoholic drink. But I shared that with the 7-year-old. It had gummy eyeballs. He was all about it. I was like, okay, cool.
Did you get one of the drinks with the cups?
No. So when I first went in, everybody had this cup thing. And I was like, okay, I don't know what's happening here. But when I went back, the only thing that they showed was like the Hatbox Ghost sipper. I was like, I don't really want that. So, I mean, I looked at it and it was like, oh, it lights up. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Not for me. But yeah, so we had 2 of those gummy eyeball drinks and sat around and watched the show, basically. That was my spot. oddly.
I love that.
Where I went.
During the preview, they like held back a table for in the Haunted Mansion bar for the whole cruise. And I'm not sure who was like invited ever to sit at this table, but they had a table of 4. And so your face is telling me they did not do that for your cruise.
It was wide open and they were
good.
Stacked on stacked on stacked.
Well, that's good at least, because it didn't, like, I didn't know if this was a thing they were keeping for all the cruises and what that was, because it was like one of the prime in the middle of the room, 4 seated, like
that was wide open. People were coming and going, having a good time.
Did you feel like they were monitoring the 45-minute rule?
Nope, not at all. Not at all. I mean, maybe even on the first night when it was completely crowded and everything, it was just kind of, you do your thing. There wasn't even a sign out saying that it was a 45-minute thing. So people just walked in, did drinks, or stayed as long as they wanted to, leave when they wanted to. It was very casual.
And did you find that during the whole cruise, like you could, for the most part, after the first day, get a seat when you were coming?
Yes. Throughout the day. I tried different times throughout the day, and there was always at least 2 or 3 tables open that you could just go and sit down at.
The 700-pound door that leads you into the Haunted Mansion, was it closed the whole time or okay? Yeah.
And yes, it was the monster trying to open it. I worked out trying to get into the parlor. It was crazy.
That was your workout.
Yeah. I mean, since I had all the ice cream, I had to do something.
So why don't we stick with kind of moving around the treasure? I'd actually like to go and discuss the kids clubs a little bit. You said your cousin was able to utilize those. I know they are pretty similar to what you find on the Wish. What did you and your cousin think of the kids club, and did he utilize it pretty often? Was he down there most of the cruise?
He actually wasn't. He went down for a few special, I guess, meet and greets that they had. He fell in love with the Star Wars Bay, like all the little creatures he was doing, and then the wall of buttons. He was like, oh, okay, I got to push all the buttons. And I was like, come on, let's go. He was like, no, I'm working. You're working? Okay, I'll come back. When's your break? On the opposite side, so it's the main entrance. Then there's the Pixar bathroom thing. That's cute, so cute. Each door is a different character. And then in the middle, they have the fantastic hand washing things that I want in my house. Like, they're the best. So then after that, then there's the Star Wars Bay. And then after that is the Marvel Academy. On the other side, there's the Princess Fairy Tale Land thing that we did not go into. He's like, that's for girls. So we kind of just walked past that one, unfortunately. And then there's this, I don't really know what to call it. It was kind of like a hodgepodge of things. So you could build a roller coaster.
The like Imagineering area.
Yeah. So you build a roller coaster and then you watch it go. Like there's no like movements, but you're picking all the drops and turns, and it's just kind of like, okay, let's go. And we're still sitting here watching things. Okay. And then there's the little kid area with the Toy Story decor.
Wait, the room on the Wish that has like the cruise ship with Mickey and Minnie, that one is Toy Story?
So the playground area might have been on the wall. It was all Toy Story things.
Oh, okay.
And then there was like this life raft in the middle. So that was the ship. He sat in the life raft and I was like, I'm not going anywhere, sir. We have to do other things. Get up and let's go. So that happened. And like I said, he went down there for, I want to say about maybe it was a game session or something. He went down there on, and I guess he didn't like how one of the kids did something. He's like, they're mean, I'm not going back. It's like, but it was just one kid. Like, there's so many more. But he was not having no parts of it. So basically, we went down there for character interactions only.
But otherwise, he didn't do secured programming in there on his own. Oh,
no. He was like the old man of the cruise ship. He didn't want to do anything. I'm like, what's wrong with you? There's all the fun things. There's games at every corner, every turn, and you just want to sit in the room and watch movies that we can watch at home. Okay. So he watched the Grandpa movie, which is up, and the Baby Riley movie. And then they had Inside Out 2 playing. So he watched that one. That one's the emotion movie. And then he watched the Lion movie because they had Mufasa playing. So we watched that as well. He's the worst.
So is he not invited next time?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Well, I mean, you pay so much for the cabin. Someone's got to utilize it.
Right.
I think he was just getting your monies out of it.
Yeah, but he's not old enough to be in there mostly by himself. So it's tough.
He didn't care until we got on the other side of the door. It's like, wait, no, don't leave kidding me. Okay, well, get your shoes on. Let's go.
Well, why
Okay.
don't we circle back to the lounges since we already hit the Haunted Mansion bar? What did you think of some of the other new themes and lounges on board the ship? Did you get to see them all?
Yeah, so we did the Skipper Canteen, which is kind of like where the Tiana's Bayou is in the Wish. It kind of felt more closed off to me, though, than how Tiana's is. That one felt more open, but still, I mean, they had the different music acts that were going on, the learn to draws and trivia, all the trivia that you wanted was there. It actually stayed pretty packed for a lot of the cruise. We did not do Triton's. Walked past it, and I think they were doing like a karaoke, and I was like, yeah, no, and we kept going. The pub, the
Periscope Pub.
yeah, walked past that too. They were doing football games. So, yeah, no, not my scene. But yeah, they had like all the football games going on there. Scat Cat walked past that one, and it seemed like every time I was walking past that one, they were doing some kind of tasting, and the doors were closed. So I don't know what their open hours are, but I missed them all.
I feel like that lounge either always has a tasting or there's always music, and it is like filled to the brim, at least in Nightingales on the Wish.
Right. We didn't even go to the hero thing when they had the incredible obstacle course. I was like, oh, come on, let's go. And then, of course, little kids like, yeah.
Do you remember what day they had that?
They did it twice. It was I want to say like the first day at sea. No, the second day at sea. And then early on the Castaway Day, I believe.
Interesting.
So, of some of these new spaces that you got to look at or experience, how would you compare them to the Wish's predecessor theming?
I would say it's more subdued. Then, like, the Wish is kind of like it's in your face. You see and do all the things. It's right there. This one is it's more of a chill vibe to me. Still, it's beautiful and well themed. Everything is, but it's just more of a chill. And maybe it was just the cruise atmosphere of it all, but it was just like a very, very chill vibe. I like Sarabi, I think, more than Luna, but they didn't do the app game, so I was a little sad. I mean, they have like the pictures and stuff in the hall for them to do them, but that wasn't an option, so I was a little sad. We didn't get to do that one.
Oh, where you take your phone and go up to it and try to... Oh,
Uncharted Adventure.
That one, yes. That was not there, and that made me sad. Because, so what was it? The Jade Cricket?
Oh, yeah, the coffee bar.
Yes. And the other one, Hey
Hey Cafe.
Yes. The murals that were on the wall there. They were gorgeous. And I know on the Wish, that was part of one of the things that you had to do was like find somethings that were going on the wall there. And I was like, oh, but it's perfect space to do that. It was.
And for a 7-night cruise, there would have been actually enough time to get through it all.
Yeah.
That's a miss. I feel like, too, at my travel agent meeting, they talked about that being ready. Like how it wasn't ready before on the Wish, but now, they had more time, so things are ready. But who knows? That's unfortunate.
It feels like Uncharted Adventure, even from the Wish, is like such a miss compared to Midship Detective Agency.
For sure.
Like, I feel like anyone who talks about Midship always tells the same story of having fun, running up and down the decks, finding all the clues. And with Uncharted Adventure, it's kind of like, well, it wasn't working our sailing, or people are like, yeah, well, we did it, but we didn't even go to the ending thing, which is cool and unique when it's working and you can go to it.
But also, I sometimes just want an activity that I can sort of do. Like, I feel like there's no end to the Disney Uncharted or whatever we called it, Uncharted Adventure. We just said it. I don't know why I can't make the words come out, but it doesn't matter. But like with the Midship Detective Agency, you can go back, but that you run up and down the stairs like 7 times and you're done. Like you get to have your answer, so when it's going to end. Yeah, Sarabi, like when I think about Luna compared to Sarabi, I still would prefer the space to not be 2 floors. But as a whole, Sarabi is just so gorgeous and just so beautiful. The main is just incredible. And I can't even picture what Luna looked like, right? Like what did they have around the stage? I have zero idea. Like I'm imagining it being gray, but I really don't know. But Sarabi, if you can remember the name, is just such a gorgeous space. Oh, to that end, what was in your cabin, what was your decoration? What was
Had
your
Aladdin.
Okay, yay. And
The
you love Aladdin.
Agrabah had Abu outlined in gold, almost on like a balcony looking out into the city. And then they had the genie moon on the top right, and Aladdin and Jasmine on the carpet flying through the city. Quite gorgeous, and I was very pleased. I'm like,
Yay.
yes. I didn't want to see the Moana room though, but I was happy with my Aladdin room.
Well, we can't go on a cruise without eating lots and lots of food, and we have some new menus, some new restaurants, as well as some returning favorites here. Before we get into rotational, though, we already talked about Festival of Foods. Did you get to utilize Marceline Market at all, and what were your thoughts on that?
We did Marceline Market for breakfast almost every day. Did not. Oh, we did lunch one day when we came back from the Tortola excursion. We went to Marceline lunch. It's good if you like seafood. That's not my thing. And there was a lot of seafood options there. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to get chicken tenders.
There's nothing wrong with chicken tenders.
This is true. But I wanted a little bit more. There was like a Indian dish that they had on the Wish. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. I need to get this again. And it wasn't there that day. So I was like, okay, it's seafood day. That's fine. Crab legs and shrimp and scallops to no end. And it's like, not for me.
Sounds
to the
great to me.
That's when you go to Festival of Foods.
Yep.
And, Lake, I don't think we talked about this, but somebody who was on my sailing went to the barbecue stand at Festival of Foods and then grabbed barbecue and put it on their taco. So they got like a taco bowl or whatever, and they would put the barbecue and or a taco from Donald, and they would put the barbecue there. Now that is a fantastic idea.
Didn't Amber literally say she did that?
Oh, did she? No, I don't think it was her. Was it her?
I think she did that.
Oh, maybe it was her. Maybe she was the person from my cruise who did that.
It was also in your cabin. Okay, I digress.
And eating all those tacos with me.
Well, let's move into rotational dining. We'll start with the two familiar options. Talk a little bit about what you thought of both the traditional and the new menus, and then we'll move into the fun and new. What were your thoughts on 1923?
I guess the first night of 1923, it was...
Was it the same menu as the Wish?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I got the peppercorn fillet, and I regretted it for the rest of the night. But
why?
Heartburn and all the things. It was... I only got to eat about half of it before I was like, my tongue can't take any more of this.
It was too peppercorny?
Yeah. I was scraping off peppercorns. I'm hoping this will help, but it was already ingrained in the meat. So I survived, but it was a little bit troubling.
It's like the best. So sad that it didn't work out well.
It was still great. And I suggest it to anybody who doesn't have heartburn issues. Go for it.
Good little warning.
What about the second night?
The second night was the lobster night.
They had like a pork, and they had lamb chops, I believe, that night.
Yes. So we had shrimp, cheese souffle, soprasita, baked oysters, iceberg salad, other salads. They had an oxtail soup that I tried, and it's actually pretty good. They needed more oxtail meat in it, but it was good. It was very tasty. The lobster my mom got. I got the pork tenderloins, which were delicious, and I didn't have any issues with those ones. So I ate all of those. It was amazing. The kid got chicken nuggets and french fries every night, so he doesn't count for anything.
We understand how that goes.
For dessert and Mickey bars for dessert. So
perfect.
Yeah, I feel like that's still a normal menu though for 1923.
Well, why don't we move to World of Marvel? What are your thoughts on this restaurant, and what did you think of your meals there?
I enjoy World of Marvel. The first night doing the Quantum Core, it's the same show, so you've seen it. It's nothing new.
Had your nephew been on the cruise before?
No.
So did he love it?
So he did up until about the end. He was knocked out by the time Spider-Man came out. And I was like, hey, it's Spider-Man. Okay. So, all right. But he made up for it. He saw Spider-Man like 3 other times on the ship, and it was fine.
Well, you guys had second dining too.
Yes.
Could I get that? That's late. I'd be asleep too.
What did you think of night 2?
Night 2 was the trivia night. I enjoyed that as well. I guess being able to see how many or whatever you got right or wrong at the end of it would have been great. But I mean, still answering the questions and knowing that you got to get that green light on, it made me feel good in my soul. Food wise, that was...
They had like the prime rib that they call whatever Disney calls that other piece of meat. I don't know what any of the seafood is because I don't eat seafood.
Salmon, a wild mushroom, onion strudel, a peri-peri chicken, which is what my mom got, and she said it was a little spicy. Dijon herb crusted rack of lamb, and a soba noodle bowl, and then the beef Wellington. That night, I just got a regular grilled sirloin because I was still feeling the effects from 1923 before. I was like, I'm gonna keep it simple today. I did get the cheddar broccolini soup. That was actually good, but it was bitter. It was a really sharp cheddar that they used, but still tasty. And I think my mom got the lobster bisque.
How was your table? So you guys were a party of 3. Where were you seated with another family?
So they did it. I get a lot of the tables were together, but not together. Like you had maybe 5 inches in between. So it wasn't like everybody comes together and we got to talk and have that awkward, oh, what did you do today? kind of talk unless you wanted to. We actually did the couple that was in front of us. We got along well with them. So we did those conversations, but
you were at your own foretop,
yes.
Basically. Oh, that's great.
Their table is still tables of 4, but I said, about 5-6 inches in between each one. So it's not a group technically.
Right. You don't have to share the butter.
Right.
If you got butter. Did you ever get butter on your cruise?
Honey butter at 1923.
Lake space.
Hold up. I, for one, love the spreads. That is my favorite part of almost all of those meals.
I agree. I like spreads. I get it. But I also like one piece of bread with some butter.
Yes.
Some good salty butter.
Agreed. And it was lacking.
Did you ever ask for butter? Now I'm stuck with my butter.
Yes. On the 3rd World of Marvel night, we asked for butter. And it was like, okay. And we never saw butter.
They really didn't know where to go to get the butter. Oh my God, that's fascinating. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to report back in January if I ever get butter. Okay. So then Coco.
Oh, I loved Coco. I loved it so much. The show, the atmosphere, it was amazing.
Was your table by the stage? Away from the stage?
No, we were back against the far left wall. It had a good view of the stage, but we were not close at all. I did get to see Mama Imelda on the 2nd night, though, and it was amazing. I was like, hey, yeah.
And was there still no spice in the salsa that was served?
There was no spice in the salsa, no. But that Mexican chocolate made up for the spice that the salsa was missing. So just put those together and call it a day, I guess. Yeah. I was proud of myself for trying that, though.
Oh, the salsa?
The Mexican.
Oh, the Mexican
chocolate tart, I guess that it was the thing. Yeah.
Was that first night or second night dessert?
That was the first night. There was some kind of flour on it. And then it was the pool of Mexican chocolate and a Mexican chocolate tort that had a chocolate stick that was flaked in gold and it was all the things. I was like, I need that one.
Did you order your dessert with your entrees?
Yes. Every night except 1923.
Okay, I don't know if we talked about this on our shows. So they have the dessert menu on the regular menu or on the menu with the appetizers and entrees. And I wonder if they're doing it to speed up the show a little, or the dinner a little bit. And if it's dinner with a show, they don't have to come back and interrupt you to get your order.
Right, that makes sense.
I could also see, because World of Marvel and Plaza de Coco are, of course, show-based dining. Right. And there are basically certain times where the servers are told you cannot be in the way, you cannot be serving. So that probably helps with the pacing, where it's not another time they're coming to your table to stand around. Which
is smart.
Yeah. It stops from delaying your meal any further if that were to be.
Well, I will say for that, this cruise was the first cruise that we've always done second dining, but we were done very quickly on this cruise. Another one's that we're pushing 10:30 before we're leaving the dining rooms. And this one, we got a good 9:30 out of there, and we're full 3 courses done.
That's good.
They were very efficient. I loved it.
That's really good to
especially
hear.
for having late dinner.
And it being new, like, right? You guys were the first actual revenue producing cruise. And the first full cruise.
So that was different. And that was one of my main concerns, because I went on the Wish a month and a half after it had been sailing, and the crew is still lost. I don't know. I guess it's because it was a different ship layout type, like from the previous ships. You could tell that they were getting frustrated trying to find where things were to give you what you needed when you asked for things. And on this one, you got it quick.
Oh, that's good though. That's good that your pacing went well. All right, so let's stick with, I guess, dining the rest of the meals. Did you ever do sit down lunch?
No.
Okay.
Or the breakfast. We just did buffet and called it. Actually, no, for lunch, mainly it was Festival of Foods.
Just the best place to be.
Yeah. We don't need to go sit down.
No, that's the place. That's the place to go. And then did they have churro waffles on your cruise?
No.
We're asking the important questions. No. So this is interesting. And did you look on the Castaway Day?
No, I didn't.
And Castaway was the last day?
Yes.
We need to ask somebody.
Every other morning, I walked around the entire Marceline. I was like, they've got to be somewhere. No.
The other thing to do is to ask your server, rather, or your head server, if they come around, to ask, when is Churro Waffle Day?
Noted.
So tip to remember. But I'm really wondering if there even is a day on the Treasure yet, like if they've made it that far. Because on my cruise, I'm pretty sure they said I was the only person who got a churro waffle. And that's because I pre-ordered it as the allergy. But they were like, yeah, we're not having churro waffles this week. So, okay. So the rest of the dining, I think then we've covered. Oh, did you order room service at all?
No, we weren't in our room long enough, really, other than him watching movies. So yeah, he wasn't concerned with food at that point.
That's good. All right. So then let's talk about entertainment next. Let's talk about non-show entertainment first. What did you go and see the Indiana Jones show late at night? The one
I missed it. And I thought maybe they were going to do it again, and it was a one-time thing. I was like, oh my gosh, because of the kid. He's cut off.
Yeah,
he's Disney. No more Disney cruises. Enough. Like, getting all the things. And this is the first one. Like, why not? But throw him away.
That is a shame. Oh, so funny. Okay, so no Indiana Jones show. Everybody else, do not miss it. If the kids don't want to go, then I guess you have to flip coins with your partner or whoever else you're cruising with to make somebody stay back, but go see that show. All right. What else? Did you guys do any trivia, or what other non-main shows did you do for entertainment?
We did trivia. They had already started, and we were question 2 in, so we didn't actually get to play because we would have lost anyway by that time. But we answered on our own off to the side. We did the movies, and there was a Mickey's Color Spin dance party on the deck the night after Pirate Night. And we missed Pirate Night and fireworks too. Oh, we had Pirate Night, but we didn't do the fireworks.
Leave that kid at home.
There was a silent dance party, quite a few of those, and that's what we ended the cruise on. And so I've seen them, but I've never actually participated until this cruise. I'm like, what have I been missing? Like, this is so fun. So those are definitely going to be higher on my list of things to do for future cruises.
And did you do that as a family, or?
Yes.
Okay.
He actually wanted to participate in that one.
Very good.
So in every line that we stood in for any character or picture photo moment thing, he was dancing to his own music the entire time. He was doing his little, I don't know what it was, looked like he's doing a rave dance or something. I don't know, but he was in it, every line.
Did you get to see Adventurer Minnie?
Yes. Actually, twice, I think. She came out, she was on the 5th floor balcony the first time, and then at the final farewell thing, she came out again.
Oh, was there any other entertainment activities before we go into the shows that we did?
No. Did you see any of the shows in the atrium, Grand Hall?
Most of the Coriander and Sage option, I guess, stories. They did a Aladdin retelling, and then their own little back and forth things. Amazing. Love them. I love them.
This is why you needed to have seen the Indiana Jones show. They're just so good. They're so good. Okay. Now you have to go again.
Of course. Yes. That's what that means.
Did you guys participate in the Jungle Cruise thing in the Grand Hall? Where those two same people did it and they set up a boat and there was like one boat participating in activities and another. I mean, it's real weird, but
I did see that on the schedule, but I didn't really know what was happening there.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, I think it's more fun if you joined and did it, and it's super fun that Disney is utilizing the space and doing something unique, but watching it was strange, but I feel like participating was strange too. Okay, any other entertainment?
They had the show Two Guys and Some Muppets. It was
in the Grand Hall, right?
Oh no! In the theater,
different.
The Disney theater.
Stop it.
It was. I don't remember their names, but I know one of them was the voice of Grover, Fozzie, Kermit, and some other ones, and then the other guy who's some other people, but they've been like with the company for like 30-40 years or whatever. So they actually kind of went behind the scenes of how Sesame Street or the Muppet Show went on.
Oh my God.
It was amazing to see. Full like entertainment value. Was kind of, if you're not into or know much about like the Muppet Show or Muppets Tonight, any of that, is kind of like, I don't know what's happening here. These guys have puppets on their hand and they look weird. So since I did know, I enjoyed it. For those that are uninitiated, it's a miss.
Well, why don't we turn it to our Broadway spectaculars? Did we see Seize the Adventure?
We saw about the middle of Seize the Adventure, but I had seen it before, so it's not like I missed it. I knew what was happening, and it's the same as on the Wish. So that was night. Yes.
Embarkation.
Yes. And then they did Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is on Thursday. So
towards the end. So what did they do besides the Muppets in between all those nights in the theater?
Nothing. There was nothing in the theaters. I thought maybe I missed something. There was nothing going on. They had like, I guess, the movies or whatever throughout the day at the other theaters, but there was nothing happening that I was aware of in the Walt Disney Theater for most of the nights. That's what I was looking like, well, where are the shows?
So then if that was Thursday, they then had Moana on Friday?
Yes. Beauty and the Beast and then Moana the following night. And we actually went to the Moana show at 3 when we came back.
They had it that day?
Yes, they did. So we did.
But they had it on Castaway Day?
Yes, they did. But it was okay because Castaway was cold as I don't know what. We got in the water and shivered for about 20 minutes, had lunch, and then we were like, it's time to go back to the ship. It's cold. And then it started raining again. I'm like, this is the best beach day ever.
It's a questionable time of year to go to the Bahamas. It's real up in the air what weather you're going to get there. So yeah, I get that. So Moana.
Amazing on so many different levels.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you said that.
Ramatala doing the whole narration and stepping, chef's kiss. And then the ending with the Tahiti, beautiful, absolutely. And the ocean people,
yeah,
just hands down amazing. I don't know that there was anything that they could have done to make that better, but they did have a technical difficulty when we first started, so they had to restart the show. I mean, it was fine, but it was like, due to technical difficulty, the big voice in the theater came on. It was like, oh no. So then all the lights came up, and then I would say maybe it was like 5 minutes later, we're ready to resume. Like, yes, all right. And then we saw the whole thing, no issues. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Loved it.
And then did you go again at night or just see it during the day?
No, we actually did pictures during the second or the first showing, the evening showing. We did pictures and then we went to dinner. Yeah.
Okay. But that's good. Such a good show.
So good.
I want them to move it though. I don't want it to be the last night of the cruise.
Agreed. Yeah. It was really weird because, I mean, on other cruises, there's something every night. And the fact that I was like, okay, we had the deck party and I guess the pirates, the fireworks that counted as a show. But I was like, okay, there's, other than the two guys and some Muppets, there was nothing happening until the very end.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was a lot of groups, like the singing groups. There was, I want to say like 3 or 4 of them that going around the Bloom somebody Buccaneer doing something or other, and what was his name? Mike somebody. He was playing jazz and doing all the things with the Disney songs and did those in passing, but we didn't really actually stop to take it all in. It was just like, oh, they're rocking out. Okay. And all right, now smooth jazz. Okay, well, chill out this evening. Love it.
And that was mostly in Skipper Society.
So they had the first night, it was like a grand hall thing, mini concert.
Yeah.
And then Skipper Society. And was it Sarabi maybe? I don't know. It was somewhere else that these other groups, they were doing the things. If you're looking for music, you can find it quite easily. Shows.
That's good. I mean, music is good at least, but yeah, maybe there should be more. Okay. What else can you think of that happened on the inaugural? So you got champagne glasses the first night or when you embarked?
Let's see. So the champagne glasses, there was a journal set. We got Explorer mini pins. There was a wooden box that had a magnifying glass in it. A keel coin display. That was really pretty.
Wow.
Two lithographs and about pencil size treasure chest on the last night. And they gave us more chocolate coins to put in for our treasure. Yeah. And then, prior to, I want to say maybe about October timeframe, they send out the email where you could pre-order the things and do the raffle for the Maiden Voyage things. They had like a snow globe and ornaments and pins there. I think about 5 or 6 different pins. Do the Loungefly ears and book bag, the mini Grand Hall statue that was available. And then he had a Nautilus, a figure. I don't know how big that one ended up being, but then Pandora changed charms and I think that was it.
Did they seem to run out of anything though during the cruise?
No, not at all, which I was surprised at. And I think maybe because they did the pre-order of things, like even in the shops, it wasn't like a super influx of people like all at one time, or even like you walk by, you see like a line going out the door or down the whole store. It was never that. And even for as many people as there were on the ship, nothing ever felt crowded, which I thought was good. Absolutely amazing. It was never like, oh my gosh, there's so many people on the ship, except for disembarkation. That's when I saw all the people and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Did they have you wrap around the whole ship basically to get up?
Back, twisting and turning 3 or 4 times up the middle, crossing staircases. It was crazy. It was crazy until they actually opened up the bay for people to actually leave. And then everything started flowing smooth and people just kind of getting in line and flowing. But prior to, it was a little bit of chaos.
And were you at the original port or the new port? The original?
The original.
I was going to say, was there anything else on the treasure that we hadn't discussed that you wanted to hit on?
The farewell thing.
Oh, yeah.
It was a two-parter. Basically, the first part was almost any character that you can think of came out and they were doing like final pictures. It was Mickey, Minnie, Donald was off on one side, Pluto was up on some other place, Tiana was in one corner, Rapunzel was in another, Moana was up at the top. Like you couldn't turn without seeing a character available to take pictures with and do things. They did that for about 15 minutes and then they went into the actual final show farewell. It was called Treasure Found. So they picked somebody from the audience, they opened up treasure chests and then magic happened. And the story that was told, I guess, coming from the chest was more like, it was almost like everything that you could do on the ship. They started with like the Haunted Mansion thing. They had Pirate Night. They were talking about all the things and the chandelier was changing colors within the story that was being told. And then they opened up something and then like confetti came out and then there was like super special character, which I don't want to spoil for anybody, just get to go. But yeah, I loved it. And that was I would say the third time that they actually had the lights going up the staircase, that kind of like the wish, the goodnight kiss, which I went out for once and I was like, okay, no, we're not doing this on this ship. Okay, that's fine. So they had the lights on when we first came in. And then there was one night they did something at like 7:30, a grand hall moment or something, which that was the Kermit and Piggy, Miss Piggy. They were up on the balcony and they sung us a Christmas carol or something. And then from there, the lights went up the staircase from the magic of their song, I guess. And then that final night when they did the treasure found, they did the whole lights thing. I was like, oh, it's cute. But I mean, compared to the Wish, it's like, y'all could have did some more with the walls. It's just the staircase and then the chandelier. So like, okay, I'll take it because it's Aladdin. It's fine.
What did they do for Christmas on the ship? Did you get you wouldn't have gotten a Christmas menu, right?
Yes, we did. We did.
In addition?
That was our third Marvel night.
So instead of Pirate Night.
So we had Pirate Night, but they didn't have a menu. There was no Pirate Night menu. It was just regular. For us, it was 1923. There was
okay.
So like, I don't know if that's going to be a thing going forward.
I don't think so. I think it's because of Christmas.
Okay. So yes, we had the roast turkey, sweet potato, mashed potato thing happening. There was red and green rolls, which that's when we asked for butter because those were the rolls that should have had butter. I don't think there was a spread. There wasn't a spread. But then they gave you cranberry sauce to go with your meal. And of course, they had the other things that you could have ordered as well. But
is that the night you got one of the lithographs for Christmas?
Yes, it was happy. It said happy holidays and it had all the ships on it. It was really pretty. And then the final lithograph was Aladdin and Jasmine basically saying thank you for the Maiden Voyage. Thank you for being a part of that. They're really pretty.
That's great. Well, you did stop at some ports during this 7-night cruise. Like, which port was first?
Tortola, which is, I believe, the only one that we got off the ship for.
Yes. This is my first time being in Tortola. So that's why we did the tour of the island, land and sea. The first part we went was the sea part. And we went out about maybe 20, 25 minutes from the island. And then there's like, I guess, barrier islands and some island that has like caves and stuff. And they were telling stories about like pirates and different, I guess, how the islands connect to each other. It was entertaining and informational at the same time. Then we went back for the actual island portion. And
so you didn't go in the water. You just you took a boat and learned about the place, but there wasn't like a swimming portion of that.
No, so some of the waves came up over ship, so could have had a bathing suit on and would have been fine. But
okay. So then you had the land part.
Yes, and we started from it's a side port. It wasn't the port where the ship was, but it was like a side port where a marina for other like the local ships were, and we got picked up from there in these open air buses, and it was like I want to say like 20 people in each bus. And basically we went from the bottom of the island to the very top of the island and saw all the things and a few of the beaches. They were very gorgeous, like scenic shots. And then they talked about how like the hurricanes had affected the island, things that they're doing, I guess, more to prevent future damage from the hurricanes, and didn't really know how green Tortola was. Like, it's jungle-ish. And I was like, this is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So once we got up to the top, it was a cliff that the bus stopped on. I was like, hey, you want to get off? Like, I don't want to get off. I like where I'm at right now. But then we ended up getting off and taking pictures of like the entire island behind us. And then as we were going down, we could see our port where the treasure was. And it was like, hey, that's our ship. And nobody's like, that's our boat. And the lady behind like, no, it's a ship. Like, yes, that's ship.
Good job, lady.
It's a ship. So yeah, that was fun. And like I said, informational. We came back to the port. There was a little bit of a traffic jam, but it didn't hinder us from getting back to the cruise ship on time. Then there was like shopping in the little pre-port area.
Yeah,
I guess, but nothing really. It was all like mainstream stores. It wasn't any like local, hey, come get these shells or keychains or artwork, or it was like Crocs and watch place. And I was like, these are like, I can go to the mall and see these places, but okay, we're here. Let's see what the Croc store has.
No, that's good to know.
Yeah, once we got through the traffic, we just went back to the ship and went to Festival of Food.
Overall, did you enjoy the tour? Is it something that you would recommend to people?
Yes, if you're not looking for anything like super adventurous, if you're kind of like want to chill, basically a ride, because you're on the boat riding out, and then you're coming back. You're on this bus riding up the island and down. It's nothing like super strenuous. So, if you want just a regular chill kind of day, I would absolutely say, hey, do that one, because you get a lot from it.
That's good to know.
Very cool. Well, we mentioned Castaway a little bit. You said you didn't spend too much time on the island. Was there anything else that you did or anything that you wish you could have done on your Castaway day?
I would say I wish the kid would have done the kids area, because like that's brand new and foreign to me. So I wish he would have come back with stories like, hey, we did this and this or whatever. I wish the water was warmer, because we actually had like our scuba mask. We are going to try to go and see the things, and it didn't work out that well. There was a very big fish of some sort that swam past my feet. I don't know what it was. It kind of blended in with the water, but I saw spots. I was like, oh, that's big. That's a big fish. And then I guess his kids came behind him or whatever. But I was like, okay, that's there. Other than that, like usually I see a lot of little fish when I go out there, and they were like non-existent today. And I guess because it was
too cold.
Yeah, it was too cold for the fish. So it was just those 3 sightings. And I guess, yes, it would have been better to spend more time on the beach, basically, actually enjoy the weather, the water. But yeah, no, we had our 20 minutes and food, so we called it a win. We did pictures on the gangway walking up, the sand snowmen and the tree that has the shells and things for the decorations. And we had a golf cart that had candy cane peppermint things on the back, and it was in tinsel. It was amazing. I'm like, you don't see that every day. I love it. I love it. They did, of course, they had like the character things there, but because of the weather, we didn't get the characters coming in. Like, and it was sunny. It was beautifully sunny going in. I thought this is going to be a best day ever, and it slowly like declined. It started clouding over, and then the breeze came in. It was like, yeah, nope, this is not where we need to be. By the time we finished lunch, it was actually like pouring, raining. It wasn't like a little sprinkle. It was pouring down. So it was like, well, I mean, we're halfway wet anyway from the water. So we'll just trek back to the boat and call it a day, which we did.
So your other port stop was St. Thomas, but you did not get off the ship in St. Thomas, correct?
Correct. Because that was like the 3rd time that I've been there. So it wasn't anything new or different that I wanted to do. So I was like, we're going to take this time for the ship, since that's the Maiden Voyage. This is the new thing. It's the ship.
Exactly.
It's the ship. So we shipped, and we went to the pool. We did the Aqua Mouse. And
what'd you think of the new show? Did you get the new show at the Aqua Mouse?
I guess it was the Swiss.
That one's not the new one.
No? Okay. We had Yeti blowing boogers on us as we went up the hill. I was like, okay, all right.
And then on the ship, did you get the picture package for your cruise?
Yes.
And did you get the unlimited pictures?
Yes.
And
I thought we were going to get like a USB order or something, but they just give you a link and like, hey, you got 60 days to get all your pictures. Cool. Okay. So I think we have like 80 pictures. So it's not like a lot, but it's a sizable amount that we need to now download one by one, I guess.
In a couple of days, it'll be available.
Okay.
And I find that it's easier to do on your phone, because then you can press and hold the picture. Like sometimes you can do the little thing where you press the circle or whatever, but I feel like it doesn't seem to work to download a lot at the time, but I would just look into that.
Okay.
Like you can log in on your phone and log in on the computer and see which one you like better. But sometimes I liked the press and hold feature.
Well, sadly, after Castaway, you are on your final evening, and the next day is disembarkation. What was your plan for disembarkation, and how did you get back to the airport to get home?
We did the express walk off. We decided not to do breakfast. So we packed up the room and basically found the end of the line at the other end of the ship. And once they opened it, it was like, let's say maybe 15 minutes to get off and get out through customs and waiting for our shuttle to come pick us up, which I think they said it was going to be at like 9 o'clock. So we got there at 8:30. So we had to wait a little bit, but I mean, it wasn't like super hot again.
Yeah.
It was like 70. So, I mean, we were just kind of hanging around at the bus bay area, watching people go by. And then our shuttle showed up. We got on and headed straight to the airport. Smooth sailing, really. I don't appreciate having Castaway being the day before.
Yeah.
It's a hassle, because then you're with the beach and the sand and you got to dry the things. And I'd rather have a day at sea as my last full day, but that's just me.
No, I feel like that is a common opinion
Okay.
No Moana on the last night. No Castaway on the last day. Come on, Disney. Come on. Think of
Get
the
it
people.
together. Get it together.
Any
have a
sailing
sea
that
day.
ends on a sea day is typically peak. Well, did you have any final thoughts or any tips for those getting on the Treasure for the first time?
I would say take your time, enjoy all that you can, get rid of the kids if you need to do the things that you want to do. It's a lot to take in, but having the Wish as like a blueprint, it makes it easier to kind of navigate. So I guess, yeah, if you've been on the Wish, then you have a foot ahead. So you kind of know what and where, because it's like I said, the exact same layout. When I did the Wish, they had the issue with the elevator buttons that were super sensitive. So I know they fixed that by now, but on the Treasure, it was actual buttons. I was like, yes, this is amazing. We don't have to stop at every floor because somebody's back hit the thing. And like even like so we had, I want to say a full ship, didn't feel crowded at any time, any point. So like I said, you have opportunities to do all the things that are available to you. So do them.
That's good.
Did you have any notable cast interactions you'd like to highlight?
Our room attendant, Nyman, he was amazing and he dealt with the little one very well. So the little one decided that he was going to steal all of our chocolates at night. So Nyman hid extra so we could get them. And
That's hilarious.
made it better. And then our main server, May, she was, and I think Gabriel was the drink attendant. They just efficient going. You ask for it, it's there, except for butter. It's hands down like the best dining experience for me that I've had on any of the ships. So they're awesome.
What was your favorite aspect, do you think, of being on the Treasure this week?
I don't know, really. Like all of it was amazing. And because it was new, it was so, yeah. So we'll say like the surprises of the Treasure. Is it having like the final farewell and the color spin party was new for me and it was a blast. I guess just like the little things that make the Treasure unique are hands down like why I was there. So
Where does the Treasure lie in the ranking of ships for you then?
Ooh.
I'd say maybe third or fourth. Fantasy is always going to be number one for me. Always, always, always. And it's because the Treasure is similar to the Wish, but the Grand Hall of the Wish, the lights and the spectacular thing of it all, that pushes that one over the edge more than the Treasure for me. But yeah, let's say about third. We'll do third. We'll say, yeah, a solid third.
Well, it's always sad to get off a ship, but the nice part is you get to start planning for the next one, or if you're Christine, the next three. What is next for you and your family?
Okay. So next is actually going to be the Royal Caribbean, the Icon of the Sea. And then in December, again, we're going to go on the Destiny. So not the Maiden Voyage, unfortunately, but
Nice.
yeah, I think it's like maybe the third or fourth, possibly. I'm not sure. But yeah, in December, we'll be doing the Destiny.
Well, it's still exciting to keep up with the new and current ships. Ebony, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your adventure on the inaugural Disney Treasure. And we hope you just had an absolutely fantastic time on board.
Absolutely. And thank you for allowing me to share my excitement about this whole thing, like with kindred spirits. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on and sharing on the day you've returned from your cruise.
Absolutely. Well, Christy, before we take it out, where can our guests find you?
You can find me all over the internet at Pack Your Pixie Dust. And where can our guests find you, Lake?
You can follow me at YouTube at MouseGen and Instagram at mouse.gen. And of course, you can follow us at DCL Podcast or Instagram at DCL_podcast. But Ebony, thank you again so much for coming on. That is going to wrap up this episode, and we'll see you next time on the DCL Podcast. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. Yay.
Well, it's going to wrap up our show. Once again, we want to thank Ebony for coming on and sharing her adventures on the maiden voyage of the Disney Treasure. If you're enjoying the show, we greatly appreciate you leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. We would also like to thank our Patreons who help make the show happen each and every week for us. You too can help support the show by visiting us at patreon.com/DCL Podcast. Whether you're boarding a cruise, enjoying a trip to the parks, or adventuring outside of Disney, on behalf of myself, Christy, and Steve, we want to wish you smooth sailing and safe travels. And we'll see you next time on the DCL Podcast.
The DCL Podcast is not affiliated with the Disney Cruise Line, Walt Disney Company, Adventures by Disney, or Run Disney. All of the opinions expressed on our shows are those of the hosts and the guests who appear on the show. If you have any questions about any of these products, please contact the Walt Disney Company.